Insulation and refractory are used to protect the steel shell against high temperatures. While MecaStack doesn't help with the actual design or selection of the insulation or refractory, it does allow you to account for the weight and wind area on the stack, which can be significant. To access it, go to the Attachments window and select Refractory Insulation. Here is where we will enter our info. You can enter the description and info here. Here you enter the top and bottom elevations. The elevation should never be higher than the top of the stack, and the bottom elevation should never be lower than the bottom of the stack. Next, you will insert the radial thickness of the insulation. The density is used to calculate the weight of the refractory. When the insulation is exterior to the stack, then an additional amount is automatically added to the weight to account for jacketing and potential moisture. Location will determine if the refractory is inside or outside of the stack cylinder. When it is external, then the aerodynamic diameter used in the wind calculations will take into account the thickness of the external insulation. Support location determines where the support of the weight is handled for the refractory. If it is uniformly supported over the length of the stack, then specify linear. If the refractory is resting on a ledge at the bottom elevation, then you would specify that the bottom option. Load type will determine how the weight of the insulation will be treated in the load combinations used for the analysis. Typically, the load type will be dead. If you have a false floor and are accounting for refractory on the floor itself, then check the floor option. Doing so will disable the top elevation because that will now be automatically calculated. The bottom elevation will be the elevation for the top of the floor. The thickness will be the thickness of the refractory, and based upon the thickness entered, the top elevation is automatically calculated. The location and support location are also automatically determined since there is only one potential choice for each when floor is selected. When you are done, you will return to your graphic. The insulation is not shown in the graphic representation of the stack.